Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Today we have a second session of Power BI and in this session we have to discuss about the 4 points. The first point is related to getting the data, getting the Excel data into the Power BI. The second point is we have to discuss how to import the CSV or the text data into the Power BI. Third point we have to discuss how we can get the Excel data into the Power BI. And fourth point we have to discuss how we can transfer Power BI data into the Excel sheet or the Excel application. Okay, now I have go to the second slide. So inside the second slide, the topic is we have to cover it how to get the data from the Excel data sources. So how we can do or achieve this thing. So these are the steps we have to follow, which we have to follow. So go to the home tab. Inside the home tab, there is an external data section. So inside the external data section, there is a get data option and we select the Excel option over there. So how we can use these steps in a Power BI? So there is a Power BI is already open. So this is the fresh Power BI window. So this is the home tab. Inside this home tab, there is an external data section, and inside this external data section, there is a get data option. And where I click on this action get data option, there is an Excel option. So we can use this Excel option to getting the Excel data into the Power BI. So we select the Excel file. If you see here, all the Excel file format means these are the file formats which we accepted by this Power BI. Click on open. So when we click on open, the window is loading, and this new window is coming, the navigator window. And here we can see the sheet 1. So the sheet 1 is basically the Excel sheet which is available inside that particular Excel file. So I click on this. So the preview is available on the right hand side. If I am seeing here, there are three options: the load, transform data, and cancel. So if I am clicking on load, so the data is load in the Power BI session. If I am clicking on transform data, so the data is transferring to the Power Query editor and we can edit the data. Editing means we have to customize the columns, we have to remove blank rows, update the blank columns, and other options also. So what as of now we have to some correction inside this data, because if you are seeing here, so the column names comes inside the first row, and the Power BI already automatically created the columns like column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm clicking on the load, so the data is coming like this. So before loading, we have to transform the data or some changing inside the data. Click on the transform data, and we already discussed the introduction of the Power Query editor in our previous session. So I hope you can visit my previous session and check the Power Query editor, how we can open it, Power Query editor. Okay, so when I click on transform data, so this Power Query editor window is coming. Okay, so we have to change the first row as the column name, because if you are seeing here, so the first row is a serial number and the second row is 1, 2, 3, so that is incorrect. So what we do, inside the home tab, there is a transform section and there is a use first row as header. This option we can use to set the first row as a column or a header or a field. So I click on this. So one on this. So when we use this first row as a header, so my first row is converting as a header or the field name. Okay. So you can easily see here the serial number as a comes as a header or the field. Similarly, all the first row converted as a header. Now I come back to in the left side option, the close and apply. If I click on it, close and apply. So this thing is reflecting on the data. So it takes some time to complete this processing. It takes some time because it totally depends on the data, means how many data or how much data you have to handle inside this particular Power BI session. So if I'm now I'm clicking on the data section and see here, click. So this is the file which we have to updated it in a Power Query editor. Okay, this is the previous file and this is the newly one which recently we have to upload it. So now my data is correct. If you are seeing here, there are around 2511 rows. Similarly, we have the column 11 and column 12 and third more column. There are these columns are blank, so we have to change it as a null or the blank. So we have to go again the edit query and change the null values to 0. So I click on this and replace the value. So before doing click on replace value, so find value to find, so I type it here null replace with 0 and okay. So my values is replace or convert to the 0. Similarly, I select the second column 12, again replace value in null and 0. And similar this type of things for the other column also. So null to 0. Again I click on close and apply, and that result is impacting, or we will see here. So now you can see here all my blank values convert to the 0. Okay. Now I come back to the second question or the second point, how we can copy the Excel data and paste it in Power BI. So how we can achieve this thing? So go to the home tab of the Power BI desktop, then select the external data section, then select enter data option. Open Power Excel file where data sets are available. Okay, so how we can achieve this? So firstly we can open the Excel file where the data sets are available. So we can copy this data from the Excel file. We can copy this, go to the Power BI. Inside the home tab, there is an external data section. Click on the enter data. So when I click on the enter data, the new window, or not a window, that a new pop-up. The new pop-up will come. So we paste the data inside that pop-up. So it takes some time to open it. Let's wait. Now I set up the option. So I already click on this enter data option. So it takes some time to open it. So once it open, then I just go to the Excel file and copy the data from the Excel file and select this option or select this area of this window and press the Ctrl V or the paste command here. So my all the data paste over here. If you want to rename the table name, so you just change the or the rename the table name. So I change the table name like this. If you want to load the data, so just click on the load button. So after clicking on this load button, the table will comes inside. If you section, if you want to edit anything inside this data right now, so you just click on the edit button, go to the Power Query, and then edit the data over there. If you want to cancel this window, so you just press the cancel button. So now I am click on the load button to load the data. So I am clicking the load button. It takes some time to loading. It's totally depend on the on your data. So right now we have around 40 or 45 around data, so it not takes too much time. But if you have a lot couple of data like more than 10,000 or 20,000 records, so definitely it takes some time. This is the back. 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 This is the backend process of the Power Query. Sorry, Power BI. Okay, I am now PPT, the again PPT, and understood or looking our next point. What is our next point? So this point we covered it, copy Excel data and paste API. Now we have the third option or the third point, the copy Power BI data table and paste it in Excel. Okay, see my Excel data or my Excel data which we had to copy from the Excel, so it reflect here. Okay, so our third point is copy Power BI data table and paste it in Excel. So how we can do it? So it means the point is basically there are lots of table inside this field section. If you want to copy any table from here, so how you can do it? You just go to the three dots of the particular table or the particular sheet. You just click on that particular, click on these three dots. Here is the copy table option. Okay, so this is the report view, so that's why copy table option is not visible here. I am going to the data section and again click on this three dots. So copy table option is visible here. So I click on this copy table and go to the Excel, create new sheet and paste it over here. And using the command, the Control V, the paste command. And if you want to save this file, so just save this file. Okay, so this is the process how we can copy the Power BI data table and paste in the Excel. Okay, now I come back to my fourth point, how we can import the txt or the csv file from the in the Power BI. So how we can do it? Similarly, we have proceed similarly what we have proceed earlier, how we can get the data from the Excel. So similar process we have to follow to get the data from the CSV. Go to go to go to the data get data option, select the text and CSV option. Again, the new window will come. This file we have to select it to which file we have to select So we select the txt file or the CSV file so that we can get the data from the txt or CSV file. So I select the txt file here, the execution CSV, click on open. Again the new window will pop up, and that window, in that window we have to select some options. First option is file origin. So if you have, this is the specific country wise, so currently we are using the Windows Western European. If you have a different country, so you have to select according to the system, country system. So this is the country name and this is the system name. So currently I am using this Western European Windows. Select this file origin. The next option, we have to select the delimiters. So what delimiters means, if in your data there is a comma, semicolon, tab, spaces, so you have to segregate data according to the according to these options. So you have to select these options. So currently I have to select the tab option because we have to segregate the data according to tab. Data type detection, this is automatically detect the data type of each column. So this option is based first 200, based on the first 200 rows of your data. And if you, this option is basically based on your entire data. Suppose you in your sheet or in your txt file around 10,000 of data, so this option only read 200 rows and this option read entire data sets. Okay, if you want to change the data or anything here, so just go to the transform data and change it over here. So yes, we have to change it because our first row is company name and address, and basically this is the column or the fields. So we have to set these first row as a field. So I'm just click on the transform data. Again the Power Query window editor will pop up. I use this option, use first row as a header. So while I select this option, so our first row set as a header or the field C, company name, address and email. My this step is already add over here. So now I click close and apply, and if I want to see our data, everything is okay. I just click on this data tab and check our data. Click on this table. Okay, so the company address. Okay, so everything is okay. So today's session we have understood the 4 points: how to get data from Excel data source, how we can import the CSV or TXT file, how we can copy the Excel data in a Power BI and the Power BI data table in a Excel. So this is our second session. We will meet again in the third session with the new points. Thank you.